Hey, thanks for checking this out with me. So I found this pretty interesting. It's an article by Wired, and it's the response from emergency first responders and how they're interacting with Waymos and how it's getting worse. Waymos are those electric taxi cars that are in California, pretty much the South and the West Coast. It's a trial program right now, as far as I know, but it's they're just AI taxis and drive around, and apparently they cause a lot of mischief in the simplest of terms. So this article is by Ari. I want to say Aaron, but it's not, and it that reads like then I don't want to say Marshall Gear, April 29th, 2026. So this was 6 days ago. Not too bad. And this was a response from a police officer. I believe the technology was deployed too quickly in too vast amounts, with hundreds of vehicles when it wasn't really ready. So yeah, apparently the technology wasn't ready. That's what the police are saying. I can only assume what the rest of them are saying, but so yeah, so we'll start there. Emergency first responder leaders told federal regulators in a private meeting last month that they were frustrated with the performance of autonomous vehicles on their streets. Yeah, that city firefighters, police officers, EMTs, and paramedics are forced to spend time during emergencies resolving issues with frozen or stuck cars. Yeah, I remember that. One fire official called them a safety issue for our crews as well as victims. Wired obtained an audio recording of the meeting. So yeah, I remember seeing something like this the other day. Apparently there was a crime scene and a Waymo just went up to the scene and stopped with a passenger in the car, and they were just hanging out on a crime scene, and they're like, I don't even know what's happening. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. This is not supposed to be happening. So apparently there's a lot of issues with how they interact with things that they're not used to. I guess they're not programmed to handle unpredictable scenarios, which I guess makes sense. It's an AI. It wouldn't know unless it does it. But to not kind of anticipate that is a little bit of a, I don't know, a little bit of a slight in thought process on whoever the engineering team was. So not the brightest decision making choices, but you know, that's the world we live in now, right? We've seen some behavior we haven't seen in a few years. Waymo is frequently now blocking our fire stations from access. The head of the San Francisco Fire Department, their default is to freeze. The situation can prevent fire trucks from responding to emergencies in a timely. So they just park out. They just get stuck in front of the firehouses and just. What are you supposed to do? I mean, I know trucks. So up in New England, when snow comes, if a fire truck has to get through a snowbank, they'll just plow through it. That the fire truck will have no issue just ramming that, going through it, ripping it apart. It's too much weight, especially with the water. There's nothing that's going to stop that. It's not gonna. So they could easily plow through these Waymos if they had to. But the fact is that the company, it's just like, who's putting a brick in the middle of the road? Why you do? Why? Like what? What's going on? I just, you'd think there'd be some type of like, I don't know, interaction from the company that says like alarms go off right at the company, and all of a sudden, there's the room like the nuclear room where it's like, well, everything's flashing red. It's like, oh, Waymo's stuck in front of a firehouse. Ah, move it, move it. You'd think like people would interact with that, and I don't know. It'd be some type of system like with those home robot android things that are coming out. The Oni, I think it's called, or similar. But those are all driven by human interaction. So why not just do the same with a Waymo, especially when it's stuck in front of a firehouse? I don't know. Like they have cameras. Why not just record the data? And if you see, oh, firehouse, have the AI who's in charge of the camera system set off an alarm that says, either contact support now or move the vehicle out of the way. Like there's no real in between that should be questioned there. I don't know. I believe the technology was deployed too quickly. Oh, never mind. I skipped a paragraph. We've seen some timely and appropriate. In Austin, first responders have been frequently stymied by Waymo's freezing up, said Lieutenant William White, head of Highway Enforcement Command at the Austin Police Department. White said, contrary to what Waymo had told first, the vehicles often fail to recognize or respond to officers' hand signals, which can lead to cascading delays during emergencies or until. Yeah, so if you have that, why not put a button on the Waymo for police exactly? Like, or I don't know, like where the cities are, give the police like a USB they can plug in that gives them access to the car. Boom, plug in the USB, you can move it. Done, problem solved. It's just, I don't know. I believe the technology was deployed too quickly. With hundreds when it really wasn't ready, White said. NHTSA did not respond to Wired's request for comment. The complaints come as Waymo embarks on an ambitious expansion across the U.S. and the world. Today, the company offers driverless rides in parts of 10 U.S. cities. Yeah, so it's still on a trial run, with plans to launch service in 10 more before the end of the year. So they're already expanding into the next sections when they're already having problems. Oh, including London. All right, well, yeah, send it to London then. We don't care about them. They already got enough knifers. Maybe if there's a guy stabbing someone in the street, the Waymo won't even recognize it and just run him over. Just like put in a system that makes it so when it like detects that threat or something, it just runs the person. Like, yeah, no, don't do that. That's bad. But it would be funny to see something AI goes after criminals. Like that's a time that's gonna happen. It's gonna eventually happen. They'll see. They'll adapt and be like, oh, that person's being killed and that person could give me money, so I'm gonna go get the one that's killing them so I can get money from them. Like it's gonna come back to a capitalist sense. I guarantee it. No matter how you look at it, it's gonna be, oh, AI is programmed to defend because defending consumers brings in money. So yay for AI defending people. And yeah, that's gonna create a weird gray zone. And that's when I see problems starting, but that's future thoughts. But these comments from cities where the service is already operating threaten to slow the rollout of driverless technology, which, according to Waymo's data, reduces serious crashes compared to human-driven cars. Waymo is already facing political opposition, especially from organized labor in several dense, blue, and politically or potentially lucrative cities, including Boston, New York, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. I could see it in Washington. I mean, that I could definitely see. Well, I don't know, maybe not, but it might help with. Well, no, I don't know. I was thinking government personnel, but that doesn't really make sense either. So we'll have to see how they expand and how they handle that one. In a statement, Waymo spokesperson Julia Iliana, we deeply value our partnership with first responders and our shared commitment to safety. Their ongoing feedback has been instrumental in driving impactful improvements to the Waymo service. The company says it has conducted in-person training for more than 35,000 emergency responders. That's just so Here, come to our company and train on our vehicles and how they destroy your city and cause a bunch of problems. Yeah, come learn how to deal with the problems we're creating. Yeah, that's a great idea. Public comment periods. The comments made in the private meeting are blunter than what government officials have already generally said in public, but they reflect long simmering and sometimes vocal frustrations expressed by city leaders since at least late last year. Since autonomous vehicle operations are regulated in California and Texas by state rather than city officials, local first responder departments and those who respect them can generally only request that developers like Waymo make specific changes to their operations. Yeah, so that's what I was just mentioning. Like, put like a button or something that just says, hey, like an emergency call button underneath the hood. Like you pop the hood, or you can't even pop the hood. Maybe in the trunk. Yeah, why not the trunk? You open the trunk. You pull a piece down, you press a button, it immediately gets Waymo and a person who's interacting with the vehicle on the other end can just control it and get it out of the way. Done. Problem solved. Immediately, 2 seconds. Not even an issue. And I know Waymo has people at their offices that can take control of the vehicle because that's the whole point of these AI companies right now. It's not just AI solely doing the decision making. It's the input of human agency into a system that allows for solutions to come out of it. So without that data being processed and without specific situations coming up, you never know what it can learn from. It could learn to do the wrong thing, which is not what you want. So that is a very important thing. On Wednesday, Austin first responders appeared before the city council to discuss Waymo's response to an incident last month, in which a driverless vehicle blocked an ambulance for 2 minutes that was responding to a shooting in the city's downtown. I just said that. Yep. And that was last month. So yeah, a little bit ago I saw that, which killed 3 people and injured at least 14. Holy crap. Oh, that was the shooting, not the Waymo. Okay. I read that wrong. I definitely read that wrong. The Waymo did not kill and injure 14 people. That didn't happen. Waymo is not, no. Waymo just blocked the first responders from handling the situation, which is equally, I think, as bad because maybe some of those people didn't, I don't know the situation, but maybe if the Waymo wasn't there, the people wouldn't have died. I don't know. I'm speculating, and it's gonna make it look bad, so I'm gonna shut up now. Though officers were able to connect quickly with Waymo operators to move the vehicle, they reported that it had taken up to 3 minutes to connect with a remote agent in the past. They reiterated that Waymos don't always respond well to hand signals, especially ones from police mounted on motorcycles. Yeah. Waymo declined to attend the meeting, and 2 front row chairs labeled "reserved for Waymo" remained empty throughout the whole 2-hour session. Ilana, the Waymo spokesperson, said the company has already had the substantive conversations this moment calls for, and the company has answered questions from city officials. We will keep working with Austin's leadership and first responder community because ongoing collaboration is how we build the trust the city deserves to make Austin streets safer. Austin's independent school district has also complained in the last few months about Waymo operations after several incidents where driverless vehicles pass school buses picking up Yep, I heard that too. They pass school buses. They don't pay attention to the stop sign. It's like something's not registering in their AI programming that allows them to pick up on hand signals, stop signs, certain things that are that can be impacted, that can impact anyone at any point. It's just a random coincidence of chance that you run into a bus picking up kids. Who knows? It's a time of the day. Maybe that town doesn't have kids in that section, or they do. No one knows. And to have Waymos just go by that without even the recognition of if a child is there, little insane. Especially when that was the whole complaint behind Tesla, was like, oh, it's gonna hit a kid. Oh boy, everyone's scared of Tesla. But you look at the Waymo, and these are actually on the streets doing the exact thing people were trying to catch Teslas on. So to me, especially after the whole thing with the alarms going off at 2 in the morning because they don't know how to park, they can't park themselves, so they just hit each other, alarm, and then freeze up at 2 in the morning every morning apparently, or every other morning. I don't know. This was a while back. They might have fixed the problems now, but it's just there's a lot of problems with Waymos, and I'm personally glad it's on the West Coast right now because I'm on the East, and I don't want to even concern myself with those thoughts of AI cars driving around yet. Other than Teslas, I do. After seeing what happens when blackouts in like Texas or Arizona or anywhere happen, and the Teslas are still able to maneuver around the city even without the lights on, that to me was a big contending factor of, all right, I trust them a little bit more. They can react when things are abnormal, and that's, to me, that's kind of what I was looking for when with the growth of AI cars. School buses picking up or dropping off school children, extend then alert lights on. In San Francisco, Carroll, the emergency meeting head, testified before the city council last month about a widespread December power outage that left more than 1,000 Waymos stranded for, yep, that's the one I'm talking about, for at least a few minutes as they struggled to navigate intersections without traffic signals. More than 60 Waymos had to be retrieved manually during the 3-hour blackout. Yep, I just talked about that one. Ironic. And this is what I mean. I've been following this for a while, so it's and I don't. This isn't even mainstream news. Like this is so small on people's radar compared to everything else going on that it's I can't even. Yeah, I can't even blame any news companies for not even talking about this. It's yeah. I definitely stay awake at night thinking about things that could happen and how we integrate this new technology, Carol told city leaders. In at least one instance, she reported a 911 operator waiting on Waymo's hotline for 53 minutes. Anything that brings a high volume of calls to 911 around these kinds of things can delay responses. Yeah, a 911 operator for Jesus, that's insane. That's insane. Oh my god, what is it? Dial up? What are they using? AOL instant calling? Like, holy crap. 13 of the minutes it was probably spent talking at that point. And everything else was wait time. Ugh. Delay our call time for people that have true life and death situations. Exactly. They need the operators to respond, not be stuck on hold for almost an hour. Waymo says it has changed some internal policies and increased engagement and training with first responders following the power outages. Jackie Thornhill, a spokesperson for the San Francisco Department of Emergency Management, wrote in a statement to Wired, since the December outage, DEM and Waymo have engaged in productive conversations to improve our communication and establish clear paths for issue escalation. She said the agency would continue to coordinate clear lines of communication between safety agencies and the private sector. Sadut Azua, a spokesperson for the Austin Police Department, said in a written statement that the department is actively engaging with city partners to assess various situations involving autonomous vehicles. Okay. First responders' comments to federal regulators in the last month's private meeting zeroed in on what they called Waymo's human element. The remote support teams meant to quickly respond to safety-related requests from first responders and riders alike. Assistant Chief Nicole Jones of the San Francisco Police Department said officers were frustrated that they had to stick their heads into robotaxis to speak with Waymo remote operators who sometimes can help the vehicles navigate out of tricky situations from afar. Jones said her department has advocated for exterior microphones that allow officers to speak. Yeah, like in the trunk. Put it in the trunk. Done. Easy. Or hook it into the horn. I mean, Jesus, you have a horn. Why don't you just put a little speaker there? It's an electric car too, isn't it? So I don't, you know what? I'm just gonna move on. White, the Austin police official, said Waymos can get stuck when they're forced to interact with people. The human element is what's killing them. He says, the moment you introduce the human element, the vehicles freeze, they lack the social awareness, and it creates a significant danger to public safety, he told regulators. On Tuesday, California's Department of Motor Vehicles published new autonomous vehicle regulations that could solve some of the first responders' issues. The rules, which will be implemented in July, require autonomous vehicles companies to respond to first responder calls within 30 seconds. They also give emergency officials new powers to issue temporary do not enter directives to these companies to clear driverless vehicles from areas experiencing emergencies. Vehicles will be required to exit the area within 2 minutes. Okay, so it's all still under 3 minutes, which the whole system of leave within 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I don't know, it's better, but that's only a 30-second difference. So I don't know, I can't. It's a good start, I'll put it that way. It's a good start that they're much more reactive. They don't have to sit there, and there's no more nonsense on that aspect, but this doesn't really fix the AI interaction and the need for a human agent to change the course of the vehicle itself manually. First responders said in the meeting that they wanted to keep working with autonomous vehicle companies, including Waymo. We want them to succeed, and we understand that the technology is here, White said. So yeah, it seems like they want to fix it. They're interested in having it in their city still, but they got to do something about about the delays. It's just the delay. It's not even with the fact that they accidentally go places they shouldn't. Well, the bus is a problem. They shouldn't be going around buses. That is actually very bad. That's like a really bad thing to do. So, uh, I can't say I'm for them then until that gets fixed. Just because it's a school bus. Are you kidding me? What? But that, like, how do you not know it's I, I don't know. So yeah, let's check out the comments. Something by Queen. Missed opportunity with the headline. Should have been emergency first responders say Waymos are getting way worse. Waymo worse. Yep. How many products have you used that have been improved but actually are worse? I'm talking about you, iPhone. Yeah, exactly, with their batteries. The cars are not as good because they're being upgraded, and every day could be a new beta system. Yep, real time while sitting back seat. Is AI learning from your cab ride? Is your ambulance being blocked by a car learning a car learning from your delay to the hospital, or is there some identification motive? They're working on a new way to extract money from you. Yeah, exactly. Consumer. It all goes back to the consumer. Whether or not and should move motive exists now, you hit the nail on the head with even broaching that idea. That's naturally what will be coming down the pipeline in attempt at capturing the market, followed by yeah. So it just seems like people are kind of in agreement where 2 minutes and 30 seconds as compared to 3 minutes, if that's how they're going to approach all of the issues they have, they're just going to fine tune it until it's good enough. That's it. That's kind of how it feels reading this in the comments, but maybe I'm mistaking it. So yeah, tell me what you guys think in the comments. Thanks.